Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all to my Institute English Cosmos. And this video is for the beginners, those who have been preparing for UGC NET and JRF. These kind of students consider that literary theory and criticisms, are isolated islands. So here I am, Dr. Mukesh Pareek, who have qualified NET for 16 times. I'm Ph.D. and double M.Phil. So I have been preparing students for last 27 years for UGC NET JRF, and with the grace of God and hard work, we have been giving marvelous result every 6 months. So many students think that because of their poor academic background, they think that literary theory and criticism is quite intimidating or abstruse, and only the students from uh, A-class universities can crack these kind of exams and can solve the questions based on theory. This is an erroneous conception. Remember, literary theory is not a labyrinth. You can do certain basic things to master literary theory and criticism. You should know that there are certain conceptual links between one theory and the other theory. So suppose you have not been taught in MA and BA from very great professors with good discussions, and your basics of literary theory and criticism is not complete, then you can first of all cultivate a habit of reading, but start reading very slowly and analytically. You can start with very basic concepts. You can ask very fundamental questions like what is reader response theory. You can ask like what is new criticism. You can say like what is the connection between formalism and new criticism. Then you can ask yourself that how structuralism came into being. Then you can link like why Marxism came, how Marxism gave rise to the other theories. So that way, then you can ask yourself like what is colonialism and what are the repercussions of colonialism and what the post-colonial writers think. And even you can make a note like in every theory there are some major thinkers, their major books and their major terms which they have coined. So then you becomes like you are making your foundations strong. Second, you can do one thing. You can, as I already have, incorporated that in the first point, that the seminal works you should be aware of. For example, Edward Said's Orientalism. You can buy a book. If you can't, then you download it and at least read 5 to 6 pages of that book. You should be aware of some basic thinkers. Like you should know about Ferdinand de Saussure. You should know about Jacques Derrida. You should know about Edward Said. You can, go into the depth of the works of Gayatri Chakrabarti Spivak, Judith Butler, Raymond Williams, and then you will find that their terminology they have given and their influential texts. Third thing you can do that start making a connection, as I earlier said, like how these theories are interconnected. And then you need to, the last point is that you need to improve with your vocabulary. You can make a glossary of your own, like suppose what is hegemony, what is discourse, what is ideology, why ideology has been termed as false consciousness, what is subaltern, who coined the term subaltern, how it is used in post-colonialism, then what is deconstructionism, what is its link with post-structuralism, then what is performativity, how performativity was initially it was linked with linguistics, and then how it came into the LGBT community studies, then patriarchy, dialectics. You should know all these basic things, epistemology. Even you should know like what is ontology. So for both the papers, these are indispensable if you really want to master your critical theory. Look, if you have mastered critical theory and literary criticism, I bet like not only you would qualify your GRF in the first attempt, but even in the interview section also, when you will be judged for your PhD entrance, you will find that your professors will be very happy. And keep revising these things regularly. Finally, you should know that this exam, UGC NET exam, they don't test your memory. They assess your critical thinking, your interpretive ability, and then your intellectual maturity. If your intellectual maturity is not there, then the elimination process will be very tough for you. So then you can say that a consistency, with your consistency you can overcome your lack of talent and can triumph over it. So disciplined study hours can you can be you can overcome your intellectual deficiency, initial deficiency. So believe in your potential. You can read every day. Your screen time should be less, and your book time should be more. And start thinking critically. You can make a group of your friends there. You can raise questions, and then you can seek answers. You can make notes. You can if you love certain writer. I keep asking to my students, like, if you love some writer, then why don't you make on your DP and on your profile, you can paste that writer. If you are new with a certain vocabulary or some coinage, then you can share it on Instagram with your friends. You can solve previous year questions regularly. And trust me, if you follow this process at least for 2 to 3 months, you'll find that whenever you open any question paper, and then you'll find that how many questions now you are able to solve. Whenever a student starts preparing for this exam, I mostly ask them, like, we just take a paper of 2006 only, suppose. So there used to be first question of 50 questions, and then there was another question paper. So you will find that out of 50 you won't be able to solve correctly 5 questions. But if you start using this technique of whatever I have suggested to you, you will find that within a month you will be able to very clearly, without any doubt, you'll be able to solve 20 questions out of 50. And then this number will increase day by day, day by day, day by day. So your journey from confusion to clarity, and this is also the hallmark of a higher education, that confusion and the fogs and the smog of confusion, it's scatter, and ultimately the light of hope and light of the vision, it becomes clear. So I wish you all the best for UGC NET exam. And if you want my notes also, you can order them. I have prepared them for last it's an essence of 27 years hard work, for objective questions also, and descriptive, all the units notes. You can take my online and offline classes also. And don't consider it like at the end of the lecture I'm giving a kind of advertisement, because I have been successfully running my own institute for last 27 years. And the students, what I earn, I don't earn only money. I earn a great faith and dedication of my students, that on Guru Purnima yesterday I got hordes of messages from my students, those who were very, very, very old students also, and recent students also. So you can believe me, and you can order the notes. You can think about it. Thank you very much.